really prove as to why he was picked up by Berserker, and that's going to be a spicy series. I'm looking forward to Scarlett versus DNS. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, all of them really. Harstem versus BattleB. ByuN versus GunGFuBanDa is going to be an interesting one, just because GunGFuBanDa is more of an enigma. At times, he can look amazing. He can look like one of the best Protoss in Europe. At other times, he can stumble a little bit instead. So he is going to be a bit of a question mark with how he compares to ByuN. I'm very excited to see what builds he has prepared as well. Oh boy, here we go. But up first, we do have Harstem versus BattleB in a Protoss versus Terran. And on top of that, I believe predictions are soon going to be ready in the chat. Speaking of predictions, I have been neglecting this, but we do have the prediction game. There is a prediction game going on in our Discord server, and you can see here, ooh, I'm not so certain if that is actually updated, but we'll try to get that going. We do have a prediction game going on in our Discord, and we are aggregating scores and predictions from the viewers, from the community, and we're kind of keeping tabs, keeping scores for everyone, ranking everyone as well with how well you can predict. So if you're interested, you can do so over on our Discord. ByuN about to 6-0. Oh, I don't think you can do that, but okay. Why would you apologize for being the sole caster? You're the best. Ah, thank you, puppy. Thank you. I did see a lot of French viewers earlier. People that maybe don't speak English, so that's a lot of what I'm apologizing for, that there's no other language broadcast currently, at least not this week. So I do apologize for those that, I mean, I guess you wouldn't understand the apology, but to maybe people tuning in that usually would listen in French or in Korean, for example. I did see some Korean viewers on our YouTube stream as well. I do know that we don't have any Korean coverage this week either, but regardless, we're here for our next matchup, and I'm excited. When it comes to Harstem versus BattleB, I think it's going to be quite close. Harstem, he is an amazing player, don't get me wrong, but nowadays he's been focusing a lot more on content, right? Like, Harstem has been focusing more on his YouTube channel, on his videos, and to be fair, like, he's been popping off. He's been doing very well for himself when it comes to his content creation, but that does mean that, you know, other players can creep up, and ooh, it looks like we're going to be moving things up. Okay, so we had a bit of a delay to start the series, and we see why. We're going to be skipping on forward, and we have ByuN versus GunGFuBanDa up first. Now, what this usually means, and we're going to be restarting predictions and stuff, but ByuN versus GunGFuBanDa, this usually means that either Harstem or BattleB wasn't available, and they're pushing that series back. They're pushing back BattleB and Harstem, giving them time to show up. So fingers crossed, hopefully both Harstem and BattleB are able to get here in time to play out their games. Their match is going to be postponed until they show up. If they don't show up, there's going to be a walkover. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully that does not happen, as we're getting ready for our Terran versus Protoss. I think I'm nailing it so far. ByuN. Currently, Pablo is in the lead. Oh, I haven't looked at the predictions yet. I don't think our graphic is quite working for it at the moment. Graphic is saying 50-50, but I don't think that's the case for our predictions. So we'll get that working. As here we go, we're getting into our next series, and spawning in the top right hand corner, we have ByuN for Shopify, and in the top left we have GunGFuBanDa for Berserker eSports. Oh my god, that's my eyes are blind. that's a bright light behind GunGFuBanDa. Jesus, calm down. But here we go. I guess it's bright and early outside. At first I thought it was like a showroom light or something, like for streaming, but no, that's a window. That's the sun. it's just blazing into the room of GunGFuBanDa. Jesus. Oh my god. It's known that GunGFuBanDa, he does live at the highest point in his local city, closest to the sun. As we're settling into our game. Ghost River once again. As we did mention, the starting map is predetermined. It is set up ahead of time. Both ByuN and GunGFuBanDa has been getting ready for this, and GunGFuBanDa. And Ghost River is known for all-ins. It's known for aggression. We saw that earlier with Ryung versus Hero, and here we go. We're opening up with an eBay block on the low ground. Okay, so ByuN going to be disrupting the opener of GunGFuBanDa, forcing probes off the mineral line, forcing a bit of a delayed start here. Zealot is going to be chronoed out, Pylon is thrown down, and GunGFuBanDa's expansion is going to be delayed. So a delayed expansion here for GunGFuBanDa, scouting across the map, getting eyes on the follow-up. It is a single gas opener out of ByuN, so it looks like ByuN is looking to expand. He's going for a Ranks into CC. Just kicking things off with a disrupted start for GunGFuBanDa. Zealot has arrived. There's that CC on location on the low ground, so again an economic build here by ByuN. And forcing GunGFuBanDa to be a little bit more aggressive as well. Forcing out a Zealot, forcing out a Stalker. This eBay, it's still up and running, by the way. It's still not dealt with. A massive delay for our Protoss. Ooh, and that's an interesting follow-up. ByuN going for a second Rax, and we may opt to go for a third. Remember, ByuN, he's still only on one Gas Geyser, so this could be a 3 Rax. And I would actually quite like that on Gross River. Okay, there it is. There's our third Rax. Okay, so we can talk about this. So a 3 Rax, it used to be very meta. 3 Raxes used to be very common in this matchup, and then it fell off with the rise of Blink Stalker play and Blink Stalker based builds. 3 Raxes are ideal against Stargate based openers. That is not going to be the case for GunGFuBanDa, but basically a 3 Rax is a stim timing. We're going to be massing Marines, quite a hefty Marine count as well, and moving out with stim. This is not an all-in, bear that in mind. You do transition out of this into a CC, into your factory, into your starport, but it's a pretty strong bio timing from the side of ByuN. And if GunGFuBanDa, if he's too greedy, because he's trying to catch up, if he cuts too many corners, if he's too greedy, then he can be caught with his pants down. Bearing in mind as well that the rush distance by ground is quite short on this map, and the push from ByuN is going to hit quite hard. Here we go, GunGFuBanDa gets across the map with his initial Zealot and Stalker, applying some pressure to the bunker, but the bunker does stand strong. ByuN is perfectly safe back at home, and GunGFuBanDa has to back off. Does have to back off. Blink is on the way. It is going to be a Blink-based build out of GunGFuBanDa. We'll see how many gateways he throws down. If he sticks with 2 gateways and he goes for a third, GunGFuBanDa may just die. But thankfully, 2 more gates on the way. It's going to be 3-gate Blink, at least 3-gate Blink from the Protoss. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Dave Testa, Papi. Oh my god. A big shout out to Dave in the chat. Thank you so much for the 500 bits. Accidentally spent a lot of money on bits last night. Oh, you're an animal. But thank you so much. Much love to Dave Tesla. For those who are unaware of Dave Tesla, he's a fellow community caster and fellow content creator as well. He is one of the minds behind the KSL. Speaking of, KSL is tomorrow. The Korean StarCraft League is going to be taking place tomorrow in the afternoon. So do look forward to that. Do look forward to casting together. Best of luck. And here comes that stim timing. Stim is finishing up in a couple of seconds. ByuN gets across the map. The hallucination will confirm this. And GunGFuBanDa does respond. Thankfully, he did open up 3 gateways, so he does have some extra warp-ins. Does have some extra units. That's a lot of Stalkers. Blink is almost done. We need 10 more seconds. Likewise, Stim finishing up for ByuN as well. As we take down the gateway, we Stim on forward. We dive on top of the Stalkers, and Blink finishes up too late. Stalkers are going down one after the other. Very efficient trade here by ByuN. Takes down the gateway, takes down the Zealot, and another Stalker. The stutter stepping out of this world. We're down to 2 Stalkers remaining. Down to 1, down to 0. Every Stalker goes down. And ByuN, he's now getting into the economy, now getting into the mineral line. Probes are falling left and right. 5 probes fall. That was too much damage. Remember, this was not even an all-in. ByuN is going for the factory, going for the starport. +1 is on the way. Not even an all-in, and he gets 5 probe kills. He resets the army, gets a gateway, and here comes the second wave. Here comes the second push. GunGFuBanDa, he's not out of this yet. Thankfully, he has a 3rd base. He can recover, but he needs time. He needs time to recover. You can see here he has no shield battery. He's down to 3 Stalkers. And ByuN, he's already here. GG gets called. GunGFuBanDa has nothing to defend. Not enough, and ByuN takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, a solid build there, going for the 3-axe, and on for ByuN, oh my god. So we have a prediction game going in our Discord, and apparently we had quite a number of people throw down their predictions, and apparently 200% in favor of a 2-0 from ByuN. I mean, it makes sense. ByuN is the ace player of Shopify Rebellion. Does make sense. And I mentioned before that GunGFuBanDa can be quite shaky in his performance, but Yeah, people, they're all behind ByuN, and so far, ByuN, he's pulling it off. So far, that first win is a big one here for himself, for his team. But again, we'll see if GunGFuBanDa can fight back. It's his map of choice. I'm curious if GunGFuBanDa has a specialized build for Dynasty. I hope so. Do hope so. These two have had so little history. Oh, I'm curious. Let's check that actually. But oh, before that, here we go. We're diving into our game, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Dynasty, we have ByuN for Shopify, and in the bottom left, we have GunGFuBanDa for Berserker eSports. Oh my eyes! the sun is brutal. Jesus. Maybe it's because I don't go outside. You know, the light of the sun is just unnatural to me. But it's powering GunGFuBanDa, and we'll see if we can bounce back for himself, for his team, and put a point on the board. But now we're getting to our openers, and we'll see how ByuN adjusts. Now, when it comes to ByuN's build last game, the 3 racks, I don't expect it here. The power of the 3 racks is just how hard it hits and how quickly it can hit as well. And the map Ghost River did work in favor of ByuN, just like it did for Ryung earlier. But here, it looks like we're just going for a much more standard build. There is no eBay block moving out. There's no early SEV from ByuN. So it looks like a standard opener, this time at least. Rax is finishing up. There's no SCV out on the map. We can see GunGFuBanDa being an annoyance, tasing away that SCV. And GunGFuBanDa going straight for that Nexus. Okay. So gate expand here from GunGFuBanDa. Is that a gate expand before Cybercore? It is. Okay. So gate expand before Cybercore. Very greedy build out of GunGFuBanDa here in game 2. Meanwhile, ByuN going for a Rax expand himself, and he's going for the gold. Bold move. Bold move by ByuN. Now, there's a reason why GunGFuBanDa did not go for the gold base, and that is because this gold base on this map can be very exposed. It's very exposed, it's very vulnerable, and it can be abused. Again, it is exposed to the elements of the rest of the map, so a range-based unit like a Reaper, like a Hellion, like a Marine, anything that shoots or that is ranged can deny mining at that gold. So GunGFuBanDa, he's avoided it. For ByuN to take that gold base is, again, very ambitious. I say that because it goes both ways. Protoss players with Stalkers, with Adepts, they can likewise harass that mineral line as well. It depends on who has map control. Speaking of, that is not a starport. That is a second Rax. ByuN, he's setting up for a 2-1-1. He could even go for a third Rax before starport as well. My eyes are on ByuN. Very aggressive build. Regardless, whether it's a third Rax or not, very aggressive build here out of ByuN as a follow-up. Again, by delaying this starport, we're going to be working and building up a hefty bio army first and delaying that medevac production. Tank is already on the way. This looks like a setup for a 2-base all-in. But I might be getting ahead of myself. Regardless, this is a very fast tank here by ByuN. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener from GunGFuBanDa. Working towards Blink. Tank is on the way. Second Rax has completed. ByuN is setting up back at home. GunGFuBanDa going for the proxy pylon. Looks like he's setting up to reinforce across the map to punish this gold. We'll see if ByuN can hold on to it. Now, with a fast tank, we're actually going to be able to get within range and protect this mineral line. So very specific build here by ByuN, recognizing how vulnerable this base is and adjusting as a result. Blink is finishing. That's 3 gates on the way. It's 4-gate Blink. Uh-oh. 4-gate Blink out of GunGFuBanDa. He is going to be aggressive. He's going to be in the face of his opponent. Does confirm mining here at the gold. And with 4-gate Blink, we can commit. We're going to be looking to break the natural or break the main. And we'll see if ByuN can hold. Now, with his early tank production, he's in a good position overall. And there it is. Third Rax is on the way before the starport. Now, what this means is that if GunGFuBanDa doesn't get enough damage done, ByuN is going to have an insane counterattack. Like, he's going to hit so hard with this. Such a late starport here by ByuN. Again, just prioritizing Marines, tanks. Stim is on the way. Really fast Stim, actually, from ByuN. But no bunkers. As a reminder, ByuN didn't scout. ByuN, without a Reaper, without a Hellion, he did not confirm the gate count, so he doesn't know the build that GunGFuBanDa is bringing here on Dynasty. Doesn't know how aggressive GunGFuBanDa is about to be. Without bunkers, these tanks, they're a little bit more exposed. GunGFuBanDa can focus them down. And we're going in, we're going for the dive. We blink on forward, we dive on the tank, and the tank does go down instantly. Marines are being targeted as well. Stim is not done, by the way. Nice hold position micro out of ByuN. Making the best out of a bad situation, but that's so many SCVs going down. And GunGFuBanDa, he's reinforcing behind this. He is committing. The tank does reposition, but we take down the depot. GunGFuBanDa is taking the third. He's expanding. He's not all in. And that was a good start. GunGFuBanDa getting 7 SCVs, getting a tank, Marines. And now we can rotate over towards the right-hand side. And there's no tank. Remember, the tank did move over towards the gold. It's not in the main. Yeah, the depots are exposed. They're going down. ByuN getting pulled apart here. Stim is done, though, so we do catch the Stalkers. Bit of miscontrol at GunGFuBanDa. Late blink. Did bleed out 3 Stalkers. ByuN is fighting back. You can see here 7 Stalkers went down. That is not insignificant. With this kind of build, you need to preserve your Stalker count. Behind this, GunGFuBanDa is working towards charge, towards +1. Towards a very gateway-heavy composition. We're avoiding Colossi or any kind of splash damage. And once the medevacs arrive, ByuN can push. He's stuck at home until we get into those medevacs. They are here. More SCVs going to be going down. We get 3. 3 SCVs. Here comes the drop play. 2 medevacs towards the left. We have another 2 to maybe even head towards the right. And GunGFuBanDa even taking another base, going for a 4th. Taking the gold as his 4th on the right-hand side. GunGFuBanDa holding his own. Now the proxy has been cleaned up. ByuN does deal with it. He backs the hell off. Aware that GunGFuBanDa is aware of the drop. We are pushing forward. Stalkers, they dive on top of the tank. The Bio Army a little bit too far behind. Too far back. Good pick off here from GunGFuBanDa. He will bleed out some Stalkers. But he got the tank. Storm just now starting up. We have our splash damage of choice. ByuN getting up to 3 bases. As GunGFuBanDa is rotating around. Getting into his 4th. And once that gold kicks in, we're going to have a lot of Zealots to work with. Remember, charge is done for GunGFuBanDa. Now, for the first time in a long time, ByuN can push out. Now he's got medevacs. Now he's got a pretty hefty army. He's moving out with Stim. Combat shields still on the way. Without Storm, GunGFuBanDa, he could be in some trouble here. Good force fields, though. Very nice force fields. ByuN, but he does stand his ground. He's working through those cells. Where's the shield battery? Uh-oh. No shield battery, no overcharge. It is focused down. Good kiting here by ByuN. It takes down the Zealots, and Storm is going to finish up in a couple of seconds. Just in time. Can we save the base? We cannot. The base goes down. Storm does zone back ByuN. But he got what he wanted. He got the Nexus. He got the Nexus, he's got 6 probes. Got a wave of Zealots. Now, thankfully, GunGFuBanDa has the gold. He has a 4th base, he has the gold. So he can just rotate over, can main out over, and make up for his dead base. Templar pushing forward, looking for a Storm. Looking for a juicy connection. God, but that is so many Marauders. There's as many Marauders as there are Marines, if not more. That's a beefy army. We can take a Storm to the face. Speaking of, The storm grazes the army. Zealot Rabbi denies the fourth. Does keep the reinforcements back at home. That is a cancel on that CC. Might have even been a kill. CC's being rebuilt. Oh, the Zealots, they make their way into the gold base as well. You can see ByuN shaking his head. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to be in the face of GunGFuBanDa, but now he has so many storms available. Enough time has gone by. ByuN, he avoids the main army. He hits the gold base. And we could end up in a base trade. Yeah, here we go. GunGFuBanDa, he hits the natural. ByuN hits the gold. Oh, the Ghost Academy's exposed. Ghost Academy could go down. ByuN holding onto his main. He's turning back around. He will get the Nexus and he's coming back home. But he's going to be pushing into Storm. Show us EMP. Oh, do we have one? Oh, not quite. There it is. Big EMP. We get every single High Templar. 0 Storms available. And GunGFuBanDa, he's trapped. He's going to lose everything. He goes for a recall and he escapes with 2 Stalkers. That was a brutal trade. He does get 17 SCVs, but it's not good enough. GG gets called and ByuN takes the 2-0. GG. Oh my god, that was a brutal EMP. He got every single High Templar in 1 EMP. And without storms, we have a bit of a delay. I guess we have a little bit of a break here. We have a bit about to change. We'll see if BattleB can prove us wrong here. Again, he is an up-and-coming Terran player in Europe. BattleB has been improving quite a team for Shopify. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have Harstem for Shopify Rebellion. And in the top right, we have his opponent. We have BattleB for Berserker eSports. Here we go. We have another TVP. But the roles have been reversed. Harstem, of course, he is a legendary player. You know, the hashtag year of Harstem. It's been the year of Harstem for years, Papi, for years. For 20 years, even more. Harstem, he's been around since the beginning, essentially. I know that he competed in Warcraft 3 back in the day, even before StarCraft 2. Was a competitor. And all these years later, he's still one of the best in Europe. I did say before, and I still stand by it, that nowadays he does focus a little bit more, or he does focus a lot more on content on his YouTube channel, of course, but he's still a strong player, can still keep up with the best of them. And I'm excited to see what he has to offer. I'm excited. Meanwhile, shout out to the sponsors, of course, of WTL. Shout out to ByuN, Autofool, and SC Boy as well. Without these lovely sponsors, WTL would not be possible. We wouldn't have World Team League. We wouldn't have Masters Coliseum, Kung Fu Cup as well. Again, a special shout out for SC Boy and the Chinese community. They invest quite a lot into StarCraft, and they host a lot of events. They even support a lot of players as well. Much love to SC Boy. Let's not forget about Stars War 11, another big tournament also sponsored by SC Boy, is also on the horizon as well. Much love. Without them, wouldn't have these tournaments. And StarCraft would be worse off without them as well. So we are settling in. Again, it's going to be an economic build here out of BattleB. He's going for a Rax Expand, single gas opener out of our Terran player, so much more economic. Likewise, Harstem going for a Gate Cyber Expand. Nothing too crazy yet. Nothing too wild. As we do see Harstem going for his tech of choice. We've seen a lot of Twilight Council-based play as of late, but Harstem, he's embracing the Stargate. Going to be a Stargate opener out of Harstem. I imagine for Phoenixes, but we'll see if he goes for an Oracle first. Reaper does dip into the main, but an Adept is lying in wait, and the Reaper is zoned away. And is going to be hunted down. Oh, una más. One more shot, and the Adept Shade should complete, and the Reaper will not escape. Nice catch there from Harstem. And I believe BattleB was not able to get the scout off, did not confirm the tech. Yeah, he didn't get behind the mineral line. So BattleB is in the dark. Now, behind that, as we're just confirming with the Observer, behind this, interesting, we're going for a 3-rack setup. Here we go. That is a second and a third racks on the way, all before Starport. It's a very aggressive build. We're building up a hefty bio army. Stim is on the way. And this could even lead into a 2-base all-in. We'll see how hard we commit. Regardless, an aggressive build here from BattleB. Very similar to what ByuN was attempting to do in the last game on Dynasty against GunGFuBanDa. Very similar build. As we are just rushing into Stim. The difference here is that ByuN prioritized tank production as well. We can see that BattleB has avoided that for the time being, prioritizing Stim and Marines. Phoenixes are getting across the map. We do get a full scout. Big moment here for Harstem. He does confirm the production, does confirm the Raxes. He knows he needs a ground army, and the Bay is on the way. Shield battery as well. If you remember, that's what GunGFuBanDa was lacking, at least in some of the previous games. But we have the safety shield battery, we have a safety immortal in production as well. Usually you would skip the immortal and just go straight to Colossi, but because we know that BattleB is working on a push, Harstem is going for a safety immortal just so he has an army to hold on. So far, a good reaction to Harstem to what he scouted. It's going to come down to the execution from both sides. Going to come down to the positioning and the angle of attack of BattleB. Likewise, can Harstem slow down the push, pick off the tank? Can he pick this apart? The first immortal has arrived, Colossus production has commenced, but here comes the push, and the observer does confirm. The tank is going to be safe with all these Marines, but you can see the Phoenixes sharking around for another pickoff. Potentially looking for another tank. The Colossus is halfway done. We need a little bit more time. BattleB is pushing. Phoenixes, they get in, they delay the eBay. Colossus is about to pop out in a couple of seconds, but the tank gets within range. Yeah, but there are 2 shield batteries. We focus out the adepts. The Colossus has arrived. And Harstem, he's holding. Yeah, he does hold. He does force BattleB back. And again, thankfully, Harstem didn't go for a third. Otherwise, this would have denied it. And we're even chasing down the army. Harstem. Oh, does commit. Did commit to the shade. Doesn't lose anything. BattleB forced back. Now, there's a bit of a give and take here. On the one side, Harstem, he did shut down the push. But BattleB did save all of his tanks, and he preserved most of his army, so he's getting ready for the second wave, for the second push. And Harstem is becoming more exposed. He's taking a third. He's maneuvering his army in between his bases as well. BattleB scans. Oh, he sees the Colossi. Still at the natural. BattleB cannot push in. Bleeding out Marines, bleeding out a tank even, as the tank has to back off. But Harstem does get eyes on it, and he will lift that tank. Oof, brutal pick off. Tank is going to go down. The Colossi, they catch the Marines. They're on siege. A brutal moment for BattleB. Caught on siege. Another tank goes down. Not like this. And BattleB, he is getting picked apart. He does catch a Phoenix. Gets almost another. I was praising BattleB earlier for at least preserving his army, but that is not the case. Not anymore. Losing too much, and Harstem freely getting into his third. Building on more Phoenixes, getting into his Twilight Council for charge. I imagine charge. And he's up to 3 Colossi. Harstem is looking solid. Looking very solid back at home. You know, BattleB trying to build up. He himself is going to be stuck at home until he can build up a strong enough force to be active once again. Harstem even going for a 4th Colossus. Jesus. That's a lot of Colossi. A little bit overkill there, but I mean, it does mean that we have plenty to work with. Plenty of splash damage. We have 6 gateways behind this. Charge is on the way. Templar Archives as well for Archons, for Storm. The pressure is on BattleB to be active, to go for draw play, get into the main, pick off some workers, catch the Phoenixes. Speaking of, the Phoenixes are moving out on the right-hand side. They do miss the drop. Or they do pass by each other. Phoenixes, they do hit the natural, picking off Marines. And Marines go down, not enough anti-air. Meanwhile, BattleB, he's looking for the 4th. Or looking for anything. Finds Zealots. Harstem does spot the army. Ghost Academy is on the way. 2nd starport as well. We do need that second starport, especially with 4 Colossi and Phoenixes. We need the Vikings, Pappy. We need the Vikings. As rocks are getting knocked down. Oh, the Prism almost gets caught. BattleB on the hunt. Doesn't quite get it. Harstem pushing in between the bases. He has 4 Colossi, putting in Phoenixes. The Archons have arrived, going for a big Zealot Warp in behind this. And can BattleB hold on? He does have a hefty Marauder count. And we're producing as many Vikings as we can, 4 at a time. We need an extra wave of Vikings, though. We're not ready. And here we go. Harstem pushes in. The boys, they have to be pulled. Soaking shots. Good concave here by BattleB. Collapsing on the army. But is it enough? The Colossi, they're going ham. And they break their way through the Marines. Trying to get on top of the Marauders as well. BattleB does hold on. Only losing 5 SCVs, by the way. But Harstem, he saves every single Colossus. They all make it out. That's what's terrifying. That was a clutch hold out of BattleB, though. that was whew. Didn't lose too much there when it came to his economy, at least. But BattleB has to rebuild. And that Viking count is getting higher and higher. We're getting there. Bearing in mind as well that Harstem did bleed out his Phoenixes. Doesn't have as much map control as he once did. The Vikings are amassing. Ghosts are on the way. This is still anyone's game. And again, I'm just so surprised, so impressed by how well BattleB took that fight with the concave, with the boys. The army was spotted by the Zealot. Scan reveals the 4th, as Harstem is also taking a 5th in the center of the map. Here comes that Prism. Here come these Zealots. Into the natural, but we have reinforcements. The Prism is going to be hunted down, and BattleB is rotating over towards that 4th base. He is spotted by the pylons. Prism is shut down. Pylons as well. Harstem's in position. And now it's not just Colossus, it's also Disruptors. Disruptors have arrived. Even though we have all these Vikings, we have to be careful not to overmake them, especially because there are no Phoenixes, so the Vikings, once they deal with the Colossi, there's not much else for them to do. We need Liberators instead. We're getting there. Tank does siege. Vikings going hand. They already sniped 1 Colossus. Harstem down to 3. Bearing in mind, though, that we do have those Disruptors. Tank pushing forward. Nova goes off. Zoning back the army. At the same time, Harstem going for a big Zealot run by here at the 3rd base, but it looks like it's being cleaned up. The bunker's in position. Oh, that's going to be 9 SCV kills, though. And another Zealot run by right through the center towards the natural. BattleB, not quite ready for this. Workers are going down. He's committed. Never goes off. Good reaction. It looks like we barely don't get another Colossus, but we do get the Nexus. Nexus goes down. Zealot run by across the map. 23 SCVs go down. Oh my god. And then Nova. Shelter Nova. Oh my god. 32 workers go down. Nova's going to be going off as well. BattleB having a hard time committing. Overcharge is popped. Oh, the splits. Oh, we lose some Marauders. We bleed out a couple units here and there, but we're running out of Purification Novas. BattleB pushing in. But the Disruptors, they just don't stop. They don't end. Buying so much time, and the economy is crippled. The Zealot Rumbites were insane. And BattleB, he has no more economy, down to 26 SCVs. He's all in. Completely. Harstem doing so well initially, preserving his Colossi. Giving up on his 4th base. Knew that he could afford to lose it. Going for non-stop counterattacks. We have a drop into the main, but we have a recall available. We have plenty to defend. And BattleB is being shut down completely. And BattleB, I mean, he held his own for a long time, but it was the Zealot round-bys that really sealed the deal. We do catch the Disruptors. Big pickups. 3 Disruptors go down. There's a DT going ham. Do we have a scan? As here come the reinforcements as well from Harstem. BattleB kiting his heart out, but he's just running out of units, running out of steam. Yeah, there's almost nothing left here. Down to a handful of units, and the Zealot round-by once again across the map. Yeah, the Zealot counterattacks were brutal. I mean, we had that bunker at the third at least, but there was no bunker at the natural. And even then, it just was not enough. Or wouldn't have been enough. Now we have Harstem double expanding. Throwing down 2 Nexi. Still with a solid army. And because of the low economy, I'm sure BattleB, he's muling his heart out, so these DTs are brutal. Forcing scans. Scans that BattleB cannot afford. And Worker's going to be going down. Nova zoning back the army. And GG gets called. BattleB running out of steam, and Harstem takes game number 1. GG. A solid game there from Harstem. And again, BattleB was able to hold his own for quite some time, but the initial push did fall in its face, which is why I was impressed. I was very impressed with BattleB recovering after the initial failed aggression, when he lost his tank, when he lost his marines out on the map. It was a brutal start for BattleB. He was able to defend against the counterattack, but again, he wasn't able to deal with any Harstem. Show us what you got. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2 on Oceanborn, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Harstem. Top left? Yeah, top left. And in the bottom right, we have BattleB for Berserker eSports. Here we go. Again, Shopify, they have a 3-0 lead on Berserker. Harstem needs one more win to claim victory for Shopify to get the 4-0. The pressure is on BattleB. The pressure is on. Also, our predictions as well. Also, our predictions. Showtime. It's been cold, Papi. It's been cold. He's got the jawline. Oh, putting Classic to shame. Shaking my head. Here we go. For now, it's going to be a double gas opener. Interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a double gas here from BattleB, going for a faster factory. Harstem moving out with his initial probe. Getting a scout across the map. Slipping into the main. Oh, BattleB even going reactor first. Okay. Bold move. Not going for the Reaper, going for reactor first. I believe BattleB also skipped his SCV scouts. I believe there was none. My eyes are on BattleB. Going for the reactor instead, setting up for, I imagine, reactor Reaper Hellion. Reapers are on the way. Hellions soon thereafter. We've seen this quite often here. We even saw this earlier from Maru. Going Reaper Hellion, going to be a little bit more aggressive early on, looking for some probe kills, looking for some economic damage. We'll see how hard we commit and how many Reapers we end up coming out with. Do we go up to 4? Do we go up to 5? Or do we cut Reaper production a little bit earlier on? Behind this, Harstem is going for a Twilight Council. We spoke about this earlier. I was like, yo, it's going to be crazy if Harstem goes for Stargate again. Thankfully, it's going to be a Twilight Council, a much more safer build here from Harstem. Working towards Blink, not risking it with the Phoenixes. And the Reaper Hellion is moving out. We have a 3rd and 4th Reaper on the way. Hellion production did commence with our first Hellion. And BattleB getting into his CC on the low ground. Here we go. Interesting, so it was only one Hellion. There was one Hellion into the tech lab, into what looks to be an add-on swap here. So not the most committed aggression from BattleB. Just a single Hellion, getting up to 4 Reapers. And there we go. With that Tech Lab, we're getting into tank production already. Tank is on the way. Is going to be ready in time to defend against something like a Blink build. Speaking of, Blink is on the way. We're going for the Pylon. The Hellion not adding any DPS though, and yeah, the Pylon will stand strong. We can see BattleB rotating around, but the wall is solid. It's up and running. BattleB trying to go for that Cybercore as well. Is getting low. Won't quite get it. Does knock the Stalker over though. But the shield battery is within range, and the Stalker will survive. Harstem holds. And this build so far did force a reaction, but we haven't gotten much done here for BattleB. We did at least scout the Twilight Council. We're aware of Blink. Tanks are amassing as we speak. So Harstem did attempt to take a third base, is delayed. And BattleB, instead of staying back at home with his tanks, he's going to be lifting and going across the map. He's committing. It's 2-gate Blink into a third. Harstem doesn't have much to work with. Can BattleB punish this third base? Can he get on top of this? Here we go. The tank has arrived. We're pushing on forward. We're within range. Yeah, the tank does siege. Blink is not done. We're 10 seconds off. And this base is going to be cancelled. Yeah, there's that cancel onto the base. Thankfully not a kill. Containing Harstem's 2 bases. And from here, I appreciate the BattleB. He's backing off. Doesn't risk it. Backs the hell off. He's happy. He's content with his damage. Dropping into the main base with his Reapers. Getting some probe kills. Harstem will shut this down though. Gets a kill on the medevac on the Reapers. But we still got 3 probe kills. Not bad. Not a bad start here for BattleB. As he pulls back, we're getting to stim. We preserve our tanks. We're safe from a counterattack. Bearing in mind that Harstem didn't have a massive gateway count to work with. And he still doesn't. Yeah, third Nexus being rebuilt. Harstem licking his wounds, moving out with what he has. But again, BattleB should be perfectly safe. Bunker is done, and from here, BattleB can even work towards his third. We'll see. For now, he's just building up on 2 bases. Hellion moves out for a scout. The Hellion will confirm that it's not a 2-base all-in. That Harstem is still expanding. Big scout here for BattleB. I'm sure he was uncertain whether or not it would be an all-in. Observer getting high ground vision. Stalkers take some tank shots to the face. We get 1 Marine kill. There is a tank in the main. No bunker in the main base, so the main is a little bit more exposed, but we have plenty of bio. As I say that, Harstem poised to dive in. Tank does on siege. Okay, Harstem backs off. Does back off in the end. We can see BattleB pushing out. Has to be very careful with the Raven. Oh, Harstem, he wants it. No! Raven overextends, and the Raven goes down. Big pick off. And no auto turrets for the push. No anti-armor missile either. And Harstem, he wants the tank. Won't quite get it. Does get a couple of hits in. And we're pulling the boys. It's a 2-base all in. Let's go, BattleB. The boys are on the way. Can we force field the ramp? Oh, we barely can. Big force fields. Marines, they get caught out. SCVs have arrived, but that's a big delay here for BattleB. And Harstem, he has time. Shield batteries are on the way. Overcharge as well. We're massing more Immortals. The boys are coming in. Archon does finish up. Thankfully, we do avoid the splash damage. And boys, they dive on top of those Immortals. Tank does siege up in time. We're going for the shield battery. Overcharge will not be a factor. And we take down the third once again. It did cost us 14 SCVs though. BattleB, he needs more. Killing the third base is not good enough. He needs to go for the kill, as he's got half the worker count of his opponent. Harstem going for a Zealot counterattack. BattleB pulling back. Trying to reinforce. Does get eyes on the Zealots, but he doesn't come back home. Doesn't turn around. He's committing. And 2 more Raxes on the way. No 3rd CC. Harstem, he tries to expand once. Oh my god. Trying to expand once again. I apologize for the audio. S to WTL. The Robo's exposed. We take down the Robo. Robo goes down. Overcharge gets spotted. We're down to 4 immortals. That's still a pretty hefty immortal count. Well, the tanks are pushing in. BattleB, let's go. Can we pull this off? Can we break through? Tank shots are going off the Stalkers. They dive on top of the tanks. They do not get them. One tank goes down. And now the immortals are exposed. They go down one after the other. BattleB stimming on forward. It looks like he has too much. He breaks on through. GG gets called. And BattleB ties up the series 1-1. Berserker eSports, they're still in this. And BattleB, he's at... Well, I mentioned before that if you're... You guys soon. Fingers crossed. Oh, we're diving in. We have our players. Let's go. We don't have cams, but in the top left, we have Scarlett. In the bottom right, we have DNS for Berserker eSports. Oh, my God. We just skipped the head-to-head and we just dove right into the game. Thankfully, there is no walkover. Thankfully, we have our best of 2. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. I was nervous, Papi. I was nervous. But we are back, and game 1 is going to be on Oceanborn. As a reminder, loser's pick for game number 2, but Berserker eSports cannot afford a loss. They cannot afford it. We need to fight back here and now to force that ace match. As for now, Scarlett's going for a hatch first, looking to be a hatch gas spool opener here from Scarlett. Meanwhile, DNS going for a gate expand into Cybercore. So far, standard builds. Standard builds. Now, we are loading into Oceanborn, and Oceanborn is known for aggression. The third base is a little bit exposed, so you can be quite assertive on this map, both from the side of the Zerg and the side of the Protoss. We've seen a lot of Roach Queen based all-ins on Oceanborn, and we have seen Scarlett embrace that as well. Scarlett is not silent when it comes to her thoughts on this matchup, is known for having a bit of disdain towards ZVP. So if there's potential for an all-in, I'm sure that Scarlett would embrace that, but we'll see, we'll see. At the same time, this is something that's known about Scarlett, so I'm sure that DNS is aware of that, is aware of the potential of an all-in, and I'm sure that's going to be in the back of his mind. Mind games can come into play, a bit of metagaming as well. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out, and how DNS approaches this. Again, Zerg players are usually the reactive players in this matchup. They usually have to react to the Protoss, which is why I'm most concerned with what DNS brings to the table, whether it's a Stargate opener, a Robo, or a Twilight Council. Now, when it comes to DNS, and I was praising him earlier, talking about how he's gone toe-to-toe with Serral and Maru, and he was looking very impressive, and he made a name for himself in the previous seasons of WTL, for Platinum Heroes. And I say that, and I bring that up because it wasn't like DNS was cheesing. He's not really a cheeser. He's not really too aggressive of a player. He's very macro oriented, very mid game and late game oriented. And what impressed us was that he was able to take it to the late game against players like Serral and like Maru in those respective matchups. So yeah, DNS is not afraid to take it that far. He's not really too overly aggressive. Willing to embrace Sky Toss if at all possible. True, true. But it's been a while. It's been a couple of seasons since he was on Platinum Heroes. I wonder if joining a new team has changed his approach to the matchup. For now, Oracle opener. We have an Oracle-based opener out of DNS. So Stargate into Oracle into a third base. Everything is looking as it should from the side of the Protoss. Likewise, Scarlett is happily droning up, getting to a third. Everything is looking as it should. Everything is looking as it should for the time being. We'll see if we take additional gases, if we go for a Roach Warren. There it is, safety Roach Warren's on the way for Scarlett. I say safety Roach Warren, my apologies. That was, what, a 3-minute 35 Roach Warren timing? That was very early, actually. Interesting. So you wouldn't throw it down this early on unless, one, you were planning to go for an all-in yourself, or you assumed it was a Twilight Council opener and something more aggressive. I see. DNS, he banks up his oracles. He makes it look like a Twilight Council opener when really it was a Stargate. So good mind games here out of DNS, hiding those oracles, keeping them hidden. Scarlett believing that it's not a Stargate. Because of that, no spores. Uh-oh, no spores for Scarlett. Again, DNS doing such a great job here at hiding his build. Roaches are on the way, Lings as well. Oracles are about to hit the third. And there's not much to defend. There's a queen, but we can focus down the drones one after the other. We get 2 drones so far. Not too bad of a defense here by Scarlett. Queens are in position. We do defend. And Scarlett, with her faster Roach form, with the Ling Roach. Can we counterattack? We can! Yeah, we are moving out across the map. Scarlett going for a massive push. We spoke about it earlier. We spoke about how all-ins on this map are not uncommon. They're more expected than anything. And we're looking to deny that third. We're droning up behind this. Scarlett is transitioning. But from here, she should be able to deny that third. The Oracles are out on the map. And we should be able to get us around. Oh! As I say that, we do have a decent amount of adepts here at that third, but the Roaches have arrived. The Lings as well. We collapse on the Stalkers. They're going down one after the other. There's no shield battery, no overcharge. And can we force a cancel? Nexus does complete. Do we have enough to get a kill? Scarlett avoiding the third base, going for the natural instead. Does get 5 probe kills. Not bad. As we bust into the natural. And it looks like we don't quite have enough to kill the Nexus. It's going to be close. The Nexus is getting low. Can we get it? The Roaches? It looks like we barely can. A couple more volleys and the Nexus, it barely will fall. Phew. The last couple of Roach shots. And Scarlett behind this, she's up in workers. We have 64 drones. We're on 4 bases. Roach speed is on the way. Evo chamber upgrades as well. GNS, I was praising him for hiding his initial oracles, for hiding his opener, and I mean it was fancy, it was nice. Alas, Scarlett was able to just punish it so hard there with the faster Roach Warren. I mean, I say punish it, I'm pretty sure the initial Roach Warren was to defend against the Twilight Council. But when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and yeah, she had the Roach one. Goes for a push. Able to shut that third down, and DNS is in a lot of trouble. At this point, there's a lot of pressure on DNS to get some counter damage done. We get 3 drones, which is okay. It's something, but we need more. We can see DNS taking up into Robotics Bay, in towards Disruptor production, or I should say Colossi. Towards Colossi, +1. Blink is on the way. DNS taking up as heavily as he can. Ooh, but we bleed out an Oracle. These are losses we can't afford. Scarlett is going to be supply blocked, but Scarlett's droning up to 70. Infestation bits on the way. It's going to be for Hive Tech to rush into Vipers if need be. We are trying to. And this is going to be a tough hold for DNS at this third. Shield batteries are on the way. Ravagers, they're amassing. We're ready to lay siege upon that third. DNS up against the wall. And from the get-go, has been an uphill battle. And Scarlett rocking up with a massive supply lead. Do you have some force fields? We have Ravagers to deal with them. They pile down the Void Ray. Ugh, and we do not pull back. Void Ray goes down. And we're stutter stepping forward. We have the overcharge to help keep the ground army alive, but there's just so much Roach Ravager. We pile down the overcharge. We deny the shield battery. And Scarlett is snowballing out of control. We break through the third base. There's a handful of Stalkers, but not much else. No more shield batteries, no more overcharge. There is the Disruptor at the natural, but GG gets called, and Scarlett will take game number 1, winning the series for Shopify Rebellion. GG. GG, well played. Shopify Rebellion will take the series here. But it's not over. We're not done. DNS can redeem himself in game number 2. Game number 2 will still be played out, and it is going to be DNS's map of choice. But congratulations to Shopify, to Scarlett, to Harstem, to ByuN as well. They will claim this series, starting off the season with a win. GG, man. GG. GG, well played. Shout out to BattleB, who did, of course, fight back against Harstem. Did fight back, did put a point on the board. And DNS, again, can still fight back as well. As a reminder, it is loser's pick, and I'm curious what map we're going to be loading into. I would imagine Dynasty. Dynasty would make a lot of sense. There's a lot of features when it comes to Dynasty that you can take advantage of. Likewise, depending on DNS, it was going to be a tough defense regardless. So yeah, always a lot of good fun. Always appreciate a solid team league. And here we go. We're diving into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Scarlett for Shopify Rebellion. And in the bottom right, we have DNS for Berserker eSports. Here we go. The WCL map selection is rough with this map pool. Yes, because of that, upsets are very much so a big possibility, given the current map pool, which makes for more upsets, to be honest, which I'm all for. I mean, it makes for a very dynamic series here, and yeah, we'll see what DNS has to offer. Probe gets across the map, forcing the unnatural natural from Scarlett. For those who are curious, there are no vetoes. No vetoes in WTL. And the initial losing player does have quite an advantage with that map pick. But now Scarlett forced to be a little bit uncomfortable in the early game, but outside of this, should be able to settle in. Join on up. My eyes are on DNS. I'm really curious to see if he does open up Stargate again, if he tries to play more defensively. We have seen a lot of late game on Golden Aura just because of how defensive you can be on a 3, 4, and then 5 base setup. I'm curious. DNS is going for his Nexus. So gate expand into Cybercore here from DNS. And Scarlett opted to go for a standard opener. Opted not to skip gas or anything crazy like that. Wasn't too greedy. As a reminder, last game, DNS did go for a Stargate opener, did try to hide his oracles, and did successfully do so. Was able to hide his oracles and go for a hidden counterattack. Wasn't worth it in the end. I imagine we're not going to be going for that kind of variation or that execution of the build this time. And there's that Stargate. Stargate is on the way. Now, when it comes to Stargate openers, even though Oracle-based play is very standard and very meta, there are still other options available here. DNS could go for a Void Ray first or a Phoenix. If we do go for either or, they can be used to just shut down scouting, shut down the Overlords, and keep the Zerg player in the dark. And behind that, DNS can go for hidden tech. He can go for Glaive Adepts, he can go for Sky Toss. There are other options available if we did open in such a way. But Oracles are much more commonplace. They're standard, maybe they're standard. As there it is. I'm glad I brought it up because that is not an Oracle. It's going to be a Phoenix opener out of DNS. As I just mentioned, the goal here from DNS is to shut down the Overlords, is to keep Scarlett in the dark. Likewise, behind this, we can go into double Stargate Mass Phoenix. We can go into Sky Toss, go into Glaive Adepts. DNS looking to spice things up here in game 2 as the Adepts, they get into the third base. They get into the natural. Wings are going down. The Adepts, they do shade away. Good trade here from DNS. As Link Speed kicks in. Phoenix is revealed. We're going for an Oracle behind this. With that Oracle, going to be able to scout. Going to be able to get some economic damage across the map. And defend against Lings. Nothing crazy yet out of DNS. As the Lings, they want that Adept up. Nice round out of Scarlett, and the Adept should barely be going down. Barely does. Nice movement out of DNS, but unable to save it. Adept goes down, and there it is! I was waiting for it. I was waiting for either a Twilight Council or a Stargate. It's going to be a second Stargate. More Phoenixes are on the way. It's double Stargate, Mass Phoenix. Ay, ay, ay. DNS, he's an animal, papi. Let's go. Not a build we see too often. But again, because of the initial Phoenix, Scarlett is in the dark. Scarlett has no idea what's coming. Not yet. Now, there are different variations of this. Like, we could just go double Stargate into a Fleet Beacon, into a Carrier Rush, or a Tempest Rush. Go Mass Void Ray. Here we can see it looks like Mass Phoenix. And this should be alongside, as the game progresses, alongside either robot production for a ground-based army or charge lots and Archons. We can go either or. As Phoenixes are building up in the main. Meanwhile, Scarlett just saturating her bases, droning up, getting a 4th. +1 melee's on the way here for Scarlett. And a Bailey Nest. Interesting, it looks like Scarlett's setting up for Lingbane Hydra, which would be ideal against Phoenixes, by the way. Here we go. Again, there is no Roach Warren. Gases are being taken. We could even go for a Spire. True. Wouldn't be fond of that. Just because we already have at least one Phoenix already. So I'm leaning more towards Hydras. As gases are being taken. 4th base on the way. DNS now moving out with his Phoenixes. Okay, we have 6 Phoenixes here in total. 2 more on the way. Charge lots behind this, so we're not going for a robo-heavy composition. We're going for charge lots eventually into Archons. And the Phoenixes are revealed. That's a lot of Queens, though. We're hugging the spores. So far, good positioning here by Scarlett. DNS looking for a stray Queen. Looking for an Overlord. Does catch a drone in the main, but only 1. So far, so good by Scarlett. Does defend. We do see Lings amassing across the map. These Lings, they shouldn't get much done, though. We have some good SimCity back at home. We have a Stasis as well. Bailey Nest is done. We could try to go for a Bailing run by instead. As DNS is transitioning into Charge Archon. Lings, they are looking to push in. They do hit that natural, but we have an Oracle back at home. Yeah, we do defend. Things that don't accomplish much. And the Phoenixes, can we finally get a Queen? Oh, not quite. So far, I like Scarlett's position overall. We're going for an Infestation Pit, getting ready for Hive Tech. Unless I missed it, I believe there was no Hydrogen, so this could just be, this could be crazy. This could be like Lingbane into Ultras even, which would be wild. There it is, Hive is on the way. And I'm feeling Ultras here, otherwise we would have seen other tech. Scarlett relying on her Queens and Sports to defend against the Phoenixes. And Ultras can work wonders against Chargels and Archons. Assuming that we have a low Robo count and a low Immortal count. Robo's on the way, Phoenixes, they dive in. Hoping to catch some Overlords, and they will get one. Not the biggest pick-off, though. Across the map, the army has been revealed. The Charger Archon, I mean. Scarlett engulfing the map in creep. Pushing towards the bases. The Phoenixes, they do get into the main. They do scout the tech. They get eyes on the Hive. Bailey's rolling in. They're going for the Zealots. Oh, big connections. A good chunk of Zealots go down. Late reaction from DNS. But again, he does see the would-be Hive. And he does begin Immortal production. Now, he's only got one Robo. But at least he is producing some Immortals. We're waiting for a second Robo, I imagine. I'm looking for one at least. Phoenixes, they get in. Phoenix gets, oh, we're bleeding out some Phoenixes, getting 3 drones. Yeah, this investment has not really been worth it. 5 drones go down. There's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. So Lingbane into Ultra. And I'm sure this is in the back of DNS's mind, but he hasn't reacted too heavily to this. Otherwise, we would have seen a second Robo. At least we have an Immortal to work with, but we'll see how well DNS can do with this push. It's got a lot of Archons at least. It's a lot of Archons. And the Ultras aren't online yet. It takes quite some time to get into the upgrades as well, into Kindness Plating, into Ultra Speed. Speaking of, the Ultra Cavern is done, Kindness Plating has begun. Kindness Plating has started up. As Scarlett is freely expanding, taking 2 more bases. Getting a 5th and a 6th. And that's a lot of Ling Bane. Jesus. Scarlett has maxed out on Ling Bane. We're rolling on in. We crash into the Zealots. Infestors behind this, Vipers as well. With the Blinding Clouds, what can the Archons do? Even without the Ultras, we get into the mineral line. Ooh, not quite. The Banelings, they do pull back. GNS is holding. Banelings, they're headed for the mineral line. Once again, they get in. No. No reaction. Probes are going down. 13 workers fall, but we collapse on top of the Queens and we shut down the Vipers and the Infestors. Very nice pickups. Very nice lifts there from GNS. Every Infestor goes down. Zealots into the main base. Drones are falling. GNS going for a counterattack. We have 5 Ultras on the way, but they're still in production. We need more time. We have Immortals joining the fray. The Vipers survived, but the Zealots, they're going ham in the main base. Banelings are finishing up just in time with the Zealots. They crash on in. Zealots go down. Lings, they come in for a surround as well. The Archons forced to recall. Oof. Yeah, big losses there for DNS. Scarlett, she may have lost 3 drones. She may have even lost the Hive, which is a nice pickup. But we still have the Ultra Cavern. And we have 5 Ultras. DNS in a lot of trouble back home. We need static defense, Immortals, cannons. There we go. Shield batteries on the way. DNS needs time. And Scarlett should not be giving him that time. There we go. Scarlett moving out. Phoenixes will get eyes on this. Oh, they're going for the Vipers. Uh-oh. Zealot run by forces Scarlett back home. Forces her reinforcements back home at least. Keeps them there. Getting a couple of drones. Causing havoc across the map. So we go. Scarlett, she does push in. Vipers are going to be focused on good Blinding Clouds here on the Archons. And on the Immortals as well. Well, some awkward kiting from DNS, but that is a brutal choke point. Yeah, DNS can hold. He can hold on. The Ultras, they ram into a brick wall. The Immortals are going ham. And we can focus down the Ultras one after the other. DNS didn't lose. I think he lost maybe 1 probe in that assault. But he did bleed out a lot of his stack defense. And Scarlett is remaxing. Meanwhile, I believe the Vipers were hunted down. Vipers were hunted down. We're eviscerating the mineral line here across the map. These Phoenixes, they're now finally paying for themselves. Shutting down the Vipers, the Infestors, the drones. DNS is holding. We have a Spire on the way for eventually Corruptors and Broodlords. More drones getting picked off as well. Thankfully, Scarlett has 93 workers. We can afford to lose some drones. It's okay. It's probably a good thing, actually, that we're losing some of these workers as well. Some of them. As the Ultras are sharking around, we've built up a hefty Immortal count. GNS a little bit late to respond. Banelings, they get into the mineral line once again. And that's all the Scarlett needed. 22 probes go down. DNS out of position. Oof. His economy in shambles once again. And Scarlett preserves her Ultras. Does keep them alive. Now we're getting into more Robos. I would not be opposed to even a Skytoss transition from here, like a fleet beacon into carriers, but DNS needs an economy for that. Immortals are getting in position. Ling Bane as well. Oh, a lot of Ling Bane gets shaved off by the Archons. They did engage just off screen towards the north. But as Scarlett clears up some supply, we're opening up into spellcasters. Infestors are being rebuilt. Vipers are being rebuilt. Still no Skytoss from DNS. I mean, I think when it comes to maxed out armies, I think I favor DNS's position here with maxed out Archon Immortal. The Vipers will complicate things though. I think it comes down to the spellcasters. Whether or not we can get some good Blinding Clouds, whether we can lock down the army. I feel like that's what it's going to come down to, because that's a death blow of an army if I've ever seen one, especially with Storm. Storm is halfway done. Like, this is wild. The army of DNS, I mean. Maxed out on Immortal Archon and High Templar. Now, Scarlett, you can she's getting ready for Broodlords. And Broodlords, they're just a better army to work with. They're a superior composition against what DNS has. But Scarlett doesn't have the free supply to make Broodlords. She's got 3 Corruptors on the way. Can't really invest into Broodlords yet. So this next fight, Scarlett, she's going to have to rely on Ultras instead. On her Ultra Ling Bane. Will most likely remax on Broodlords, but I'm pretty sure the goal of DNS for this next fight is to snowball out of control, win the fight, and push out across the map. Corruptors are revealed. Ooh, Prism goes down. Very nice pickoff. Prism does go down. There's the Skytoss Fleet Beacon, another Stargate. The Infestors, no! 3 Infestors go down. Ooh, brutal pickoffs. That is not the way to start. We catch the Vipers as well! We spoke about how important these spellcasters were going to be, and 3 Infestors go down, 2 Vipers as well. Now, thankfully, we have 3 more Infestors left, but no more Blinding Clouds. Now we're going for the Neural. Storms are being thrown down on the Ultras. Yeah, we just kite on back. Good Neurals here on the Immortals. But we're just mowing our way through the Ultras. That's all we had. We have 6 more Ultras on the way. Oh, we get caught out. Scarlett's in trouble. Scarlett, she's in a bit of trouble. She has to pull back. Zealots, they're pushing out towards the left-hand side. They run into the Lings. Ultras are going down one after the other. Yeah, and the Infestors, they need more time. They need more energy. High Templar coming in. We have plenty of storms, plenty of feedbacks. And this is the moment for DNS, but there's 10 Ultras on the way. Can Scarlett buy time? We're remaxing on Tempest. Delta coming in. Ling runs into a wall of static defense. Oh, DNS not going for the kill. I don't know how I feel about this. DNS, he gets 1 base and now he's going for the northern base as well. DNS could have gone for the natural, but to be fair, he probably would have been surrounded. Would have been surrounded if that were the case. And it would have been a dicey situation for DNS if he had pushed in. Meanwhile, Corruptors being cleaned up. Tempests are revealed. Ling Rumbai does bust in towards that 3rd. Is breaking through. Lings are getting a bit out of hand, but now we have plenty to defend. And DNS is rotating around. Meanwhile, Broodlords are on the way. That's going to be a game changer. 6 Broodlords in production. DNS, he may have taken too long. He may have taken just a little bit too long here. He needs more time for his Tempest. He hasn't spotted them, and the Broodlords, they're finishing. Yeah, the Broodlords, they will finish in time. Yeah, they are revealed. And DNS has to back off. The momentum that he had so much momentum here, and now he has to retreat. And more Broodlords are on the way. Scarlett, she is still in this. It's so tense, Bat. We need more Tempest. DNS needs more Tempest. Broodlords are amassing here in the center of the map. They are spotted by the Observer. DNS, he cannot engage. His Tempests are nice and all, but only 2 of them. Ultra's going for a big surround even. Oh, okay, we're pulling back. We're calming down. Game is calming down. Both players are maxed out. Now, because I think we only have 4 Tempests, I want to favor Scarlett. I want to favor Scarlett's Broodlord counts. We don't have enough anti-air. Don't have enough Tempest. The Ultras are in an awkward position. You have to be careful. Falling back. Scarlett does have bottom left-hand bases as well. Building up a bank. Also, I assume there were 4 Tempests. I think it's only 2. Only 2 Tempest. Likewise, Scarlett has too many Ultras. Like, Scarlett wants to bleed out some of these Ultras. Likewise, DNS wants to make room for more Skytoss as well. GNS wants to get rid of some of these Archons. So both players working with awkward armies, but we're going for a bit of a base trade. GNS, he will take down a hatchery towards the left-hand side. Meanwhile, these Ultras, they should take down this base towards the right. Do we recall? Going for a warp in, and Mortals are going ham as well. Not a bad trade from GNS, but the Ultras will overwhelm. We're going for the recall. GNS, he wants the Ultras. Saves the base. Yeah, shaves off some Ultras as well. And you can see behind this Scarlett, she's remaxing with more Corruptors and would be more Broodlords as well. Interesting. GNS doesn't recall his Archons, but they're getting caught out. Oh! They have to retreat. They have to back off. Infestor coming into support. 3 more Tempests on the way. As a reminder, GNS, he wants to shave off some of these units, rebuild with Tempest. Did have a second recall with the Mothership. Does recall to safety. But the Broodlords are laying siege upon this third. And GNS, he has to respond. If we lose this third base, we gain access to the natural. He's coming back home. The Robos are exposed as well. At the same time, he's going for a counterattack at the northern base. Only 2 Zealots. Tempests are coming in. How many Corruptors? A good Corruptor count. And Scarlett retreats. Ling Rumbai coming in. Remember, recalls are on cooldown. Sag defense not rebuilt yet. These Lings, they can get some damage done. GNS buying some time. Banelings are on the way as well. GNS, he does respond. There's no creep here in the center of the map. Scarlett moving out. Getting caught out with the Ultras. Ooh, that's going to be 3 dead Ultras. Did I say 3? We're barely not getting a 4th. Okay, 3. We catch out some of the Lings. Not bad. Thankfully, Scarlett has a bank. She's going to be able to replace that with more Broodlords and Corruptors. And again, GNS doesn't have the army to engage yet. Oh, nice storm on the Lings. Oh, but a High Templar is going to be going down. Not a bad trade here for Scarlett. Getting a High Templar. Saves the base. 19 Ultras have gone down. Jesus. Almost 400 Lings as well. It's been a very tense game. We get another Ultra. Now again, to be fair, we don't really care about these Ultras too much. We won a presence on the ground, but not the most important losses. As Xenos rotates around, he will get a kill on this base. High Templar! Ooh. They get some storms off on the Corruptors. Broodlords are coming in. They want the High Templar. It looks like they get 1. As the army is forced to recall back home. I think we may have gotten a second High Templar as well. It may have been off camera. From here, GNS rotates over. That's a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. Could push in towards the gold. I don't think we need to. Right now, DNS is focusing on clearing up creep. As much creep as we can. Infestors are coming in. Ling Ultra has been revealed towards the top right. We do have some Zealots to defend. We have a High Templar with Storm. These Ultras, they can break through. Yeah, good rotation by Scarlett. Storms are nice, but we need more than that. Yeah, this base is under fire. Recall's on cooldown. And DNS, he's giving it up. And he does warp in some Stalkers, but they're going to be going down. Never mind. Oh, we had a recall. I thought it was on cooldown, but I guess it came off. Okay, never mind. Did have a recall available. We saved the base. I think it just had come off cooldown. Again, I'm not observing, so I can't actually click on the building. So I don't. I'm just going by feeling. As Ling Ultra rotate around, and this time there's no recall. Okay. This time there's no at least base recall. There is a Mothership recall that we can make use of, but yeah, the Nexus, it's gonna go down. The Robos as well. And there we go. The Mothership does recall back home to defend. We get the Revelation off on the Ultras. Scarlett amassing more Vipers. Amassing more Infestors. But a good rotation here from Scarlett. Very nice rotation. As she's doing it again. heading towards the north. Threatening a dive towards the north. Bringing her army back. Meanwhile, how many Tempests? We have 5 Tempests. We have 2 carriers. DNS a decent Skytoss army. More carriers on the way. The Ling Ultra has been spotted by the Oracle. So DNS this time is in position. Doesn't have to waste a recall. We'll rotate around. It does keep up. Scarlett may have a low drone count, but she doesn't need a lot of drones right now. We're running out of minerals, like we're running out of bases. I think Scarlett, she's down to 1.5 base saturation. Gets across the map, going for the Nexus. Now what's huge here is that this means like the Nexus isn't really mining much, but it is a recall point. So we lose the Nexus, lose another point to recall to. Oh, the Broodlords are exposed! Where's the Corruptors? One Broodlord goes down. Tempests are pushing in. They get almost another Broodlord as the Corruptors. They come in from behind. Storms are thrown down. Archons come in as well. We do catch a carrier. Ooh, and that Power Bomb is putting in some work on that army. We do get rid of the shields. Bit of a chaotic fight there. GNS losing a carrier. Scarlett losing 2 Broodlords. Going for another Ling run by. And yeah, DNS does not have anything at home to defend. Barely any defense. The mobility of the Ling Ultra is just pulling DNS apart. Now, of course, we could recall back home. DNS, but again, he wants to hold on to this position. He needs to save the space to expand, to mine. He's walking back home with some Archons. Does catch some of these Queens. Not bad. Queens are going down. Scarlett kills the Natural. This might be a one-way trip, though. No, never mind. Okay, we pull back. Scarlett, she does pull back in time. The main base is now exposed. Bear that in mind. That's where the production is. That's where the Stargates are. Where the the upgrades are as well, the Forge. DNS, he might just give up on his main. But this also means that this southern base from Scarlett is so safe. Like, there's barely anything threatening that hatchery. So Scarlett, she gets a free mining base up and running. A pretty fresh mining base as well. Meanwhile, we do snipe a carrier. Good catch from Scarlett. Gets a stray carrier. We're pushing into the main base. We came to the production. DNS in a bit of trouble. He hasn't saturated his new base either. We need some probes there. Like, he has the Nexus, but he doesn't have any mining going on. Here we go. We're pushing on forward. Fungal on the main army. We yoink the mothership, and we do get a snipe. Minus 300, minus 300. Mothership goes down. That's a big pickup. We clean up the main base as well. I believe we haven't rebuilt the Stargates, which is concerning. Yeah, Stargates haven't been rebuilt. Instead, we went for a massive gateway explosion on the right-hand side instead. Interesting move here out of DNS. And again, I don't think he's saturated that mining base towards the top left. He's not mining. Uh-oh. Trading with the main army. We snipe one of the Oracles. Storm zoning away this Corruptors as well. I could be mistaken, though. But I didn't see much mining going on in the minimap. Yeah, it's one probe. Like, we've had this base for so... We need to mine, Papi. Like, we've had the base for so long. That top left base is just untouched. We need that bank. Ultra's going to be going down. The army's out of position. Now Scarlett can go for the Nexus. And that base has not paid for itself. There's been no mining at all. Aye. The base is going to be going down. At the same time, DNS going for his own trade. We're trading a base for a base. And going for the bottom left. Now, to be fair, the 2 bases that are going down right now are the most important mining bases for both Scarlett and DNS. Corruptors come in. They take down at the top right. Yo, could DNS die from elimination? Could Scarlett just... There's like one base left for DNS. She could threaten that, actually. As DNS does take down a hatchery. Army's rotating back over. Scarlett expanding towards the north. DNS, yeah, I was wondering if he had rebuilt the Cybercore. No Cybercore, which means even though he has all these gateways, he can't warp in. Can't warp in Stalkers, I mean. So Cybercore is being rebuilt. Twilight Council as well. Corruptors are coming in. Can they catch a carrier? Oh, they can! One carrier goes down. We snipe the Vipers. Big storms as well. But that was a big pick off. DNS is supply blocked. He can't rebuild. And DNS is running out of minerals. He's burning through that mineral bank. And DNS just caught out too many times. Running out of storms as well. He's resaturating top right at least. But he cannot allow Scarlett to get top left. But again, this is a little bit on DNS as well for not mining top left. That would have been minerals taken away from Scarlett. And yeah, Scarlett, fresh mining base here. Untouched. DNS, he left it alone. I did leave it alone for her. That is going to be a big expansion for Scarlett. Now she can max out. Now she can sustain herself. Mineral income wise, I mean. Like, both players have gas banks. Still close though. Still a tense moment. GNS doesn't have to worry about too many bases to protect either. That's the plus side, right? Like, who needs base? Like, I didn't want my bases anyway. Okay, now I can defend Copium. More Archons on the way. We're keeping an eye on just the unit tab. Scarlett now taking the gases. Looking to expand towards the south as well. Scarlett, oh. I was already lamenting about how DNS had given up on top left and how Scarlett had taken a fresh base, but now we have, or now Scarlett taking another base towards the south. DNS has to contest these bases. At least one of them. Cannot let them both go under control of Scarlett. We are pushing out. DNS has remaxed. Has been able to remax. Threatening a push. Clearing up some creep. Tempest, they one-shot a Broodlord. Not bad. Likewise, though, we have plenty of Vipers as well ready to yoink. Ready to powerbomb. Infestors as well. DNS pushing deep onto creep right now. He's on thin ice. Takes down top left. Takes down the base. And he's going to get the hell out of here. We got to go. we got to get the hell out of here. Scarlett getting ready for a surround. We're going to collapse on this army. And there's no way out. Massive blinding cloud on the Ultra, sorry, on the Immortals. Good feedbacks. Very nice feedbacks here on the Infestors. But we collapse on the army. We're shutting down the carriers. The Broodlords are falling, though. The ground army. The Archons. We shut down every single Broodlord. And yes, we killed the Sky Toss, but it doesn't matter. We had a ground army instead. The Archons are breaking through. DNS. He's done it. Oh, my God. He has done it. Didn't care about his Tempest. Didn't care about the carriers. Broodlords are on the way. 11 Broodlords. Okay, Scarlett, she still potentially has a chance, but that's all she has left. 11 Broodlords. And DNS is going to keep on pushing into that natural. Pushing in towards the natural base. We're camping the production. We go for the tech. We go for the Greater Spire. But the Broodlords, they have morphed in. Again, that's 11 Broodlords. DNS does have a recall. I'm not so certain he can push into that. It's going to be close. That's a lot of Archons. He could try to just brute force his way on top of those broods. Mothership is on the way. Now, what's scary is that I believe Scarlett just morphed every Corruptor into a Broodlord. Does she have anti-air? Uh-oh. Does she have it? I don't know. No anti-air. GG gets called, and DNS does it. DNS fights back, putting a point on the board, tying things up 1-1. GG. GG, well played. DNS with the 1-1 score. Not enough to win it for Berserker, but enough to redeem himself and to help redeem his team as well. GG, well played. 1-1 across the board. ByuN coming in with a 2-0. ByuN did win it all for Shopify Rebellion, or thanks to ByuN's 2-0. Shopify do take it in the end, but that was more of a back and forth. GG, well played. Again, we've seen DNS go toe-to-toe with some of these big Zerg players in the past. Does get the 1-1. And with that, we have wrapped up our matches for the night. 4-2s all around. 4-2. Team Vitality was able to bring down DKZ. Shopify take down Berserker. And that is tonight's match is done. Tomorrow, we're going to be back with Team Liquid versus Psystorm Gaming, or Psystorm Na'Vi, and we have Starlight Twinkle versus Basilisk Big. Or Big Basilisk. Let's go. So some interesting matches tomorrow. Again, Psystorm Gaming and Na'Vi have joined forces, which means Spirit is now supporting Max Pax and Geralt. Likewise, Basilisk have joined forces with Big, which means Showtime is going to be supporting Raynor, Trigger, and Cyril. So some big unifications there for WTL. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We are going to be wrapping up our broadcast for the night. Just catching up in the chat. Oh. In a match that meant nothing for a series that had already been decided, they both went freaking hard at that one. I mean, that's usually how it goes. Like, even when some matches don't really count as much, that doesn't mean the players don't try. Like, that's usually the case here in WTL, which we do appreciate. Showtime is a solid pickup for Raynor and Cyril. He is. Like, Basilisk Big is going to be a big contender, no pun intended, for that #1 spot in WTL. It's going to be a lot of good fun. I'm guessing GunGFuBanDa was played first, so that GunGfu guarantees finishing before his ESL match. They did play first. We were missing players. There was a delay. So GunGfu versus ByuN was prioritized, or they were brought forward instead, which allowed other players to show up. So there was no walkover, thankfully. But yes, that was played first. Whew. But yeah, with that, GG, well played. Shout out to DNS for bringing it back the way that he did. And again, thank you so much everyone for watching. We're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we have 2 broadcasts. We have WTL day number 2. We have day number 2 of World Team League. Alongside that, we have KSL. In less than 24 hours, we're going to be back with the Korean StarCraft League. Oh boy, that's going to be how long? Quickly just double checking. KSL is in 11 hours and 30 minutes. So in 11 and a half hours, we're going to be back here on the channel with the Korean StarCraft League. If you are unsatiated, if you want some Korean StarCraft, we got you covered there. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for World Team League. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send our love to, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. With that, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Bye.